We are talking to Mrs.Eotha Monday, and she's discussing about what year she came to St. Landry and where she's originally from and what year she got married and about Black Lake Church.
Well, starting out,
Yes, ma'am.
I came to Black Lake in 1948. I got married December the 18th, 1948. I'm originally from Fabric.
And your family?
My family, mother was Cheney. Her name was Cheney Viola. And my stepdaddy was Tom Green.
But your mother name was Cheney
Cheney
Viola what?
Golden. That was her
Gold.
maiden name.
She's a Golden, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you came to St. Landry in 1948,
Uh-huh.
and you married Odell Monday.
Uh-huh. December the 18th.
And you had
Mm-hmm.
how many kids?
I had 3 kids.
3 kids.
Odell, Benny, and Elaine.
And you left here in what year?
I left here and I moved to Odell used to work on the railroad, and when he got bumped off the railroad, we went to New York. We left in here in November the 13th, 1957.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you came back,
Back in um,
1980.
1985. No, 1986.
6.
1986. November, not November, March the 10th. That's when I came.
That's when I was pregnant with Stasia.
So it was.
And we're going to talk about Black Lake Church. And you can tell me about who was the pastor when you came into St. Landry, Black Lake Church. Who was the pastor up there?
When I first came back out here,
Yes, ma'am.
Sam McCree.
Mr. McCree was the pastor on Black Lake Church?
Yeah, Sam McCree, he was the pastor.
Did you know who was the pastor before Mr. McCree?
Let me see.
Was that some kin to your mother-in-law?
No, it was no. Sam McCree was kin to my mother-in-law.
Yeah, was your mother? What's your mother-in-law maiden name was?
My mother-in-law name was McCree.
Okay, she was a McCree.
And let me see. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but it was a man. He was related to my grandmother too. His name was Alan Gillespie.
That was the preacher that was there before Mr. Sam McCree.
Yeah, because I could remember Rosa Monday talking about him. And Odell, Rosa, you know, that was Odell's cousin, my father-in-law niece.
So you're saying it was Mr. Gillespie, Reverend Gillespie, Alan Gillespie before Mr. McCree. What was Mr. McCree's first name?
Sam.
Sam McCree. Then after Sam McCree was
Hezekiah Dixon.
Hezekiah Dixon, and then
after Reverend Hezekiah, Reverend Humphrey.
Reverend Humphrey, and after Reverend Humphrey was Norman Thomas.
Norman Thomas. And after Norman Thomas, it was this preacher from Alexandria. He was a
Reverend Green.
Reverend Freeman.
Reverend Freeman, yes. And after Reverend Freeman,
it was it just stayed open for about 2 years, and then Reverend Johnson, he took over.
Okay, Reverend Johnson took over. All right, so but you said Black Lake was a school.
Yeah.
The church was a school before.
Yeah, it was given to the Black Lake community for school, church, and burying ground for the people of Black Lake community. That's how come they had to, that's the most reason why I left Black Lake, because Thomas carried on so bad about Jim being buried in his, you know.
And he's a community, he was one of the community.
That's right. He stayed in the community. He was in the community before I were.
Mhm.
Although he was from around Whiteville,
Mhm.
but he came out here and filmed her. He said that he asked Joseph, uh, who give him authority, give the undertakers authority to put his body in his church. And I wouldn't tell you what Reverend Joseph said. He
Yes,
told me.
ma'am. So
No,
when you came to St. Landry, could you name the people who was living here then?
some of them, yeah.
You know, like
Oh,
from the prominent families that lived in the area that was plentiful then, right?
yeah, it was. Let me see, the Sanders and
Chambers.
no, oh yeah, the Chambers was staying over there in that. Oh yeah,
What his name was?
Beauty Chambers and Papa Luke. That was Hugh's daddy. I remember Papa Luke. He was a sweet little man.
Papa Lou was here
Papa
too.
Luke. His name
Luke.
was Luke Chambers. Uh-huh. And let me see, Lizzie Wynn, Leslie Wynn, and his wife.
Mhm.
You call her Toot, but her name was California.
Mhm.
And Leslie's
You had the
mother.
Curtis,
Yeah, Willie Curtis and his
his
wife.
daddy.
His daddy, Sam Curtis, Mary Curtis,
Uh-huh.
and then Papa Robert and Mama Lady. That was Leslie's mother and father. That was
You had any Johnsons lived in this community?
yeah, Jeff and Joseph. Joseph was married to Miss Helen's daughter, Jetta. We
Jeff.
call her Jetta. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I calls she looks just when you see Sin,
Uh-huh.
she looked just like her grandmother.
Jetta,
I
she looked just like Jetta.
I call her Jetta. I don't let
Mhm.
holler loud loud when I get up close so she speaks to me. I say hi, Jetta. Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then you had the Bradleys,
That is
and you had uh who else?
Mr. R.V.
You,
Green and his first wife, her name was, we used to call her Tourette, but her name was Teresa.
mm,
And let's see who else. Made for them, they stayed around the lake. Uh-huh. And
her and all them children.
uh-huh. On her children. I knew a lot of her children when they were little. Yeah, like Lois and Oscar and them, they went to school
But
one
when you
day,
came here, you said you came here in 19 what?
1947.
You was little then, huh?
Yeah, I was about,
You was
Hugh was,
he had
yeah,
to be
Hugh,
about 3 or 4 then, huh?
no, he was little older than that.
Because I'm
Cause
trying to
I think
remember
when
what
I
year he
left
was
here,
born. He was yeah, you right. You said he was a young little boy when you came here.
yeah, I said must have been about 12, 13 or
Hmm.
something like that.
Was he
And
big then?
he was tall. You remind me of Buck. You kind of tall.
Uh
hmm And he used to wear an afro. The afro.
huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Handsome young man.
He was a handsome young man, he sure was.
A masculine voice.
Yeah, sure did. He was nice. And I didn't see Jimmy too regular. He used to
Mm.
go to Sunday school over there.
Mhm.
And
And Nate.
mhm.
Nate.
Nate, yeah, Nate and Jim, and he was the oldest one. hmm And
But
well,
when you move here, they still had a lot of people living in Oak Hall.
on Oak Hall,
Yes. Uh.
uh, yeah, the whole bunch of us living up there. It was the Moultons and them the Moultons and the Anderson, Joe Anderson, and Joe Anderson's father and mother was living when I came out here.
Mm.
The Moultons, and it's some
The Edisons was here.
the Edisons, yeah, and also the Daniels. We had some Daniels living out there on
Mm.
Oak Hall.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But when you came here, also wasn't your godfather living out here then too?
Nathan,
Yes.
yeah, he was staying with T, and then he used to stay a while with T, and then he go stay with
Bud
Bud,
on Black Lake.
Black Lake, yeah. And matter of fact, he died over there. He died all of a sudden. He had a heart attack that morning.
Well, after this, did you know Miss Lizzie?
And they said, Pittman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know her. Yes, Lord.
Who remind you of her?
Mm.
If you're looking at any of the children, who?
I think one of Nenny's daughters. You call her Nenny, but her name is Miller. And the one you call Polly. She reminds me of your grandmother.
She look like Miss Lizzie?
Mm-hmm. To
Does
me,
she?
she do. Uh-huh. I sure do.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Did Miss Lizzie have any sisters?
No, but she had two nieces, Selena Harris and Bessie. That was her. That was her. I don't know if it was her sister children or her brother's children, but I know they were her. She was their auntie.
Cause I've never heard nobody talk about that they had their grandmother had any sisters and
No,
brothers.
I don't remember her having those sisters, but she had a lot of.
And she was originally from Barbary too.
Yeah, she's yeah from Barbary. They all lived around there, in a little place. It wasn't said Barbary. It was like they call it the Morrison, right between Camel Lane and as you pass the church.
Barbary Church.
Mm-hmm. It was a little place they used to call it the Morrison, and a lot of them stayed on there because she
Well,
was
answer this: was it far from where Aunt Helen used to live?
Helen, Miss Helen.
Cause Aunt Helen
When I
Bradley.
came here, she was at she was living at, but she used to live at she was from Port Barre.
Who?
Miss Helen. She used to live in Port Barre.
No, you talking about Helen Sanders?
Uh huh.
Well, that's where their mother was from. I heard.
Yeah, she used to live out there too. Because I remember her saying one time they had the high water long years ago, and how she used to stay out there. Said they used to give them you know help. And she said they'd give them ham. She said she ate so much of ham that that she didn't know.
But I think that's where her mother was from.
Much it was.
She
don't know.
was. They
Yeah.
say what her name was.
Emma. Mama Emma. They used to call her
Yeah,
Mama.
Mama Emma was from Port Bear.
Yeah, but Miss Helen lived in Port Barre too. Because I think some of her children born. I know older children like Luke and Charlie and Lizzie and Emma, Knock, and Jerry. I think all of them they lived in Port Barre.
They was born there.
They were born, yeah. This the last one like even Richard I think was born in there. There's already not Augustine, Joyce May and Joyce May next to Richard, Augustine and
Well, is any of those children still living?
what you mean like
All them older children. You
Liz
say
didn't have no children. Luke didn't have none. Charlotte didn't have none. And uh, her daughter called Emma, she had a son called Billy. He and Mr. Hewley and my mother, we call her my mother. They raised Billy. I think Billy died. He died after I went to New York. He died.
really?
Uh huh. Yes, indeed.
And you met Odell and you
I
became
met
his.
Odell. Booty was the cause for me to meet Odell.
He introduced you to him.
Yeah, you could say he introduced him to me because
When you
was
say Booty, you're talking about
Murphy.
Murphy Bradley.
Murphy Bradley, yes.
That's Nathan Bradley, bro.
Mm-hmm. My daddy, he had some cotton seeds, I think it was. He wanted Booty. Booty had this big old black truck. He wanted him to take it to the seeds to bunk it and have them ground for the cows. We had some cows at that time. And he brought Odell and Adele down there with him.
Who's they there?
Adele is Thicky brother. That was he was married to a Christian, uh, Arena Christian. That's who he married.
One of the Christian ladies was married to Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Where
He
they
was a
live?
Christian. They live in Carbon Christian, I think.
Carver Christie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that was one
that
of
was
Thurk's brothers.
yeah, Dale. You know what I'm talking about, Dale? His
Mm.
name was Adele. My mother
Mm-mm.
called him Dale. That was his son used to what that? No, that was AD's son. I'm getting them mixed up. But anyway.
Which one used to stay up there?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's two A's son used to stay up there.
It was.
Okay, ma. It was two A's son.
Oh, it was two S son.
Two A's and what's his wife name? That was their son. The lady was from Chico.
Yeah, Gloria. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, that boy. Two S wife was named not Gloria. She was named
Rose.
Rose. Right. She was named Rose. And
I almost forgot her name too.
uh-huh. And now, take it when I met Odell,
How old you was?
I was 14,
And you got married at
16.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Um, Odell came, and I had stayed home from school that day. It had rained, and I kind of had a cold, and my mother wouldn't let me go to school that morning, and I was sitting in the window.
Your grandmother.
My mother was living at the time.
When you were 16, I thought you said your mother
I
died.
was 16. My mother died in 47, and I got married in 48. My mother died in, my grandfather died the 12th of March, 1947, and my mother died March the 26th. It was 16 days apart. I was 14 years old when that happened. And Odell see me sitting in the window, and he came over to the window and asked for a match. That's to get to talking. I went in the room and I got him a match and gave it to him. He lit his cigarette and he standing there and we talked.
And how old he was?
I think he was must have been 19 or 20. Because he was 21 when we got married. He was 21 in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
He was 21. And I was 16. So we got married at houses in Bunkie now. Reverend Johnson married me and him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy.
So you come to St.Landry, you didn't know what you got yourself into.
Huh?
You come to St.Landry, you didn't know what you got yourself into.
You can say well, my in-laws were so nice. My mother-in-law, she was a doll. She's a sweet.
And what her name was?
Jenny. And I used to call her Matt. He used to call her Matt sometimes when I said Matt. I call her Matt too. But she was nice, and I thought.
And she could cook too.
Yeah, she could. And my father-in-law, we got along all right, but he used to bug me about the children. Benny Roy could be an 8. And no sooner as somebody come in and touch the pot or he hear a pot rattle, he gonna holler, I eat. And then he get on me. You hear these children? And Odell out there working and you won't be out there. Oh, I get so mad. It's the one thing I was pregnant too. It's the one thing that to come here looking like it. I used to get so mad.
So, and the rest of the people in the community, you had the Spriggans was here also?
Yeah, the Spriggans was up Cocodrie. They was up there on, they lived around George Helmer place. Because I used to write insurance for Steve Johnson, and I used to catch the bus and ride up there. And had some Wesses living up there.
But then you had the Thomas too, and they Tan and them living here too, huh?
Yeah, because Tan and them was living where?
Or were they living?
They lived around that bend. But when I married, Tan and them was living out here. They moved out here after I was, later years. And Cornelis, they moved down that lane.
Now you related to the Thomases,
Yeah.
cause how you related?
Ellis Thomas and my mother, first cousin. They two sister children.
Okay.
William Thomas. Yo, that's good.
So you're saying your mother had a sister.
Huh?
Your mother had a sister was married into the Thomas
My
family.
grandmother.
Okay, your grandmother.
My grandmother.
Sister.
The sister was married to Willis Thomas. Willis used to call him Willis.
And that was living them great grandfather.
That was Bill Lim Jr. and them great grandfather. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The old man and them. That was his daddy. Mm-hmm.
Where they come from?
From Barbary. They all was from Barbary. Mm-hmm. You see, Barbary Church. But you see that land over in front of that church, all around there, up in there, it used to be a quarters. Barbary called it Barbary quarters, and had houses on each side, just like a regular plantation.
The community.
Yeah, but they didn't call it a plantation. They just, Barbary quarters. It used to, you could go and you pass Peggy House right back there. It's a lane to the left, or to the right, going down there, and you cross the bridge, and you in Barbary quarters. Then when
can you still get back there?
Oh no, the people they done
tore the bridge up.
Tore the bridge, and then tore all those houses. I think they got a camp house back there. But I would just love to go back there and see what it looked like. But it'll be just like it was when the house with me, they got married at. When I was there when we got married, they tore the house down, and it goes up. It's all field land. It's no remembrance or nothing. No house. The only house they got there is right to get to the end of that bridge. The Valiant houses was sitting there. But all the rest of those houses around there, it ain't nothing but farmland. I went around there with over there one day, and I was so scared I didn't know what to do. I was telling him, I said, "What made you come around here?" I was glad when he kept, because I was going to see him. I didn't see nothing. I couldn't even see the tree that was in the yard when we got married.
But before you got married, didn't you move to Crowley?
Oh yeah, I lived in Crowley. I went to high school in Crowley. That was it. Yeah.
So you say there were some Spriggans here. There was the Thomas. There was Ruth and Lenora was living here when you moved here.
They moved after they were living in Gola.
But the James was here then, one day.
The James, yeah.
Mr. George James, and all his children.
That's right. They came out here with Miss Ola Tubit. Ola Tubit bought that place up there. She already had it. George James used to work for her when she was living at Gold Dust, and they came out here. I was here. I went to Lenora's wedding.
Well, who you said was Miss Berner's daddy?
Who?
What parents said was Miss Berner's daddy?
Baby.
And he had a store in Whiteville?
A store in Gold Dust. And I went to let me see. During the time of the high water, was in 1953. The people lived in Chico, in St.Landry. They went to Chico. And the people lived out here
on Black Lake.
They
went to Bunk.
Yeah, they went to Bunk. We went over to the church that night and stayed over there that night. And that next evening around 2 o'clock, Little Dave Hayes came out in his big truck and told them if they go with him to Bunkie, he would, feed them and, give them what they need to get time. And 100 people jumped in that truck like they were jumping in that truck, honey. And the ones went out here, all these girls that went out here, they met their boyfriend, and they got married. Ruth got married to Lenora. Eddie Dean married
Low.
Eddie Dean married Joyce.
Joyce, okay, get him
And Dean married Low. And Joyce Dorothy Thomas, she married Harrison
William.
Harrison William. I went to all those weddings.
And y'all had met everything at the high water. Y'all met it. Everybody had met each other at the high water.
At the high water, because they was living over there. I don't know where they must was living in the school. That was it. Yes, indeed. We stayed 10 days out of high water.
And the people of Bunker fed y'all?
They fed us at the school. Little Dave, he sponsored that. That man, that rich guy, he sponsored that.
Do you still have any family living around here somewhere?
Billy.
Who?
Billy.
Billy who?
Billy Steebo.
Yes.
That guy was still there in those quarters up there. You don't know Billy Steebo? Oh, white guy, tall and have yellow hair, little hair. He be in
That's Ken. That was Ken to him who did that for y'all.
Yeah, it's his uncle. Alec used to work for him. He'd have mustard green all sides of it.
You talking about that run Oak Hall? That was Ken to him.
David Hayes, he owned it Oak Hall. Them Hayes is owning Oak Hall. Yeah, sure did.
Let's see who else we could name. Who else was in the community? Well, where Miss Celeste come from? She was here when you came in?
Celeste used to live in Gola. She was actually originating from Gola. Yeah, she moved here too. They bought some land down that Miss Oliver Lane.
Well, Mrs.Eotha Monday, and grandchildren and everybody else gonna see this and your cousins.
Yeah.
But thank you for the interview.
Yeah.